Putin is starting to run out of red lines. After months of hesitance and worries that giving the green light might cross a red line for Vladimir Putin, Washington agreed that American-made F-16 jets could be delivered to Ukraine. Ukraine, however, must exercise patience. It will take several months, at least, U.S. Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall told CNN, before they receive the aircraft they have long requested in order to counter Putin's aggression. The United States and its allies have gradually increased their supply of high-profile weapons since the beginning of the Russian president's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. So far, Russia hasn't retaliated harshly to the use of HIMARS, M777 howitzers, Leopard and Challenger tanks, and, most recently, Patriot missile systems, all of which have made a difference in the war. If President Joe Biden follows through on his promise to train Ukrainian pilots and allow its allies to deliver planes superior to the Soviet-era MiG-29s and Su-27s that Kyiv mostly uses, this could change. According to Tom Roberts, an assistant professor at Smith College in Northampton, Massachusetts, Putin may well consider the delivery of fighter jets to be a red line, though it remains to be seen if, when, and how Russia will respond. It's hard to predict how the shipment of F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine will affect the course of the war, but Roberts told Newsweek that the event will be seen as a sign of escalation and absorbed into a larger narrative of Western aggression. Moscow's description of the F-16s as a escalation makes them easy to incorporate into a narrative of Western aggression against Russia that has been amplified in Kremlin media. According to Gary Rose, a professor of political science at Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Connecticut, the delivery of the F-16s to Ukraine will most certainly provide Putin with more opportunities to claim that the West, the U.S. in particular, is escalating the war and that the West is the aggressor. He told Newsweek that he expected Putin to make more statements along the lines of Russia needing to take draconian measures, including a nuclear response, in response to the escalation from the West. Putin once again blamed the West for the war in Ukraine during the watered-down Victory Day celebrations on May 9 in Moscow's Red Square, which went ahead without a flypast and many of Russia's weapons. Putin's invasion has been met with apprehension in the meantime due to Russia's nuclear arsenal. In October, the Russian leader said it was not a bluff, that he would use all means necessary to defend his country. Analysts have said that they would give Putin no advantage, and reports have indicated that Putin's key allies, China and India, are against their use. Putin's options for responding to the delivery of F-16s are constrained by battlefield losses and the exposure of weaknesses in Moscow's military forces. Moscow cannot retaliate meaningfully unless Putin is willing to deploy its nuclear weapons, according to Wes Renfro, a professor of political science at Quinnipiac University in Hamden, Connecticut. According to his interview with Newsweek, Putin is unlikely to resort to nuclear escalation, until or unless the Ukrainian boondoggle threatens his grip on power. It has yet to be determined exactly how Ukraine will receive F-16s, and conventional training for a pilot takes at least 2 years. There is a long wait to see if they will change things on the ground, even if that time frame is shortened by Ukraine's urge to get them in the air. Professor of Russian, East European, and Eurasian Studies at Wesleyan University in Middletown, Connecticut, Peter Rutland, remarked that the main significance of Biden's decision to authorize the delivery of F-16s to Ukraine was that it was a way for the U.S. to signal its long-term commitment to Ukraine. Given the effectiveness of Russian air defenses, Rutland told Newsweek, the planes are not going to be a game-changer on the battlefield. When the fighting this spring fails to break the stalemate on the front lines, Putin is hoping the West will lose interest in supporting Ukraine.